Support varies in different areas, and unfortunately most support for Alzheimer's disease is geared at older people, so this is where we have a big problem. There are some young onset Alzheimer's disease or young onset dementia groups out there. It's more about peer support and local networks, what you have around you. And I think people automatically feel that once they get a diagnosis, they're in this dementia bubble, so all the support has to come that way. And it's very important to get information and resources to do with their Alzheimer's disease. But I think what we've got to look at is they are still the person themselves, so they should still continue with their own activities and interests and get support built around those to continue. For support for young onset, we have just started up a young onset Alzheimer's disease support group within Rare Dementia Support, and we plan to have meetings 4 times a year. We also plan to have some social chat groups via Zoom for people affected with that young onset Alzheimer's disease. I think when people are in a situation where they're socialising with people with the same problems, they feel so less isolated and much more confident about themselves. It's really quite empowering. My one bit of advice for people once they've got a diagnosis is get information, learn about the condition, how it's going to affect you, how it's going to affect your family. Be prepared to adapt. Don't give up on things. It's not what you can't do, it's what you can still do, and adaptation so you can continue with the things that you enjoy doing. I think it's really important not to forget the carers and the rest of the family if families are involved. You know, young onset Alzheimer's disease will affect everybody in the family, especially if there's children involved. So it's really important that carers get the space, especially to speak to other carers, speak to professionals on their own as well about how this is having an impact on them. And for children as well, you know, losing your mum or your dad to this disease, you know, watching them change over time is going to have a real impact. So please, you know, really ensure if children are involved or young adults that they're getting the support that they need as well.
I think that the establishment of a young onset Alzheimer's group as part of the support offered here for rare dementias is hugely important, and I've felt strongly for a while that there's a gap here. I know obviously that Alzheimer's disease is not a rare dementia, but young onset Alzheimer's is, and that the people who have a diagnosis of young onset Alzheimer's and their families and carers and supporters have quite a unique set of experiences and challenges ahead of them. Through my experience of working in the context of the young onset Alzheimer's group at St George's Hospital, I know how valuable it can be to have the support of other people who are sharing those experiences and living through the changing realities of living with young onset dementia as well as you possibly can. And I think for that reason I'm hugely optimistic that we can really make a difference to people's lives. I'm now in the category of ex-carer, and over the last 10 years I've learned an awful lot. It's one set of experience. I'm not claiming to be an expert, but you know, I've learned a lot, and I've also lived alongside a number of other people who've had different experiences. And if we can bring any of that to bear to help people who are living with it in the here and now, then it'll be a worthwhile job.